Not only is this Trophy Edition a special edition, but it's actually a really good deal in the Defender lineup. The Land Rover in Lehigh is providing us with this Trophy Edition. So I will include a link to their website in the description down below. If you have any questions, need any help, just ask for Bradley. Let's get right into it. Powering this is a turbo 3-liter inline 6. It goes through an 8-speed automatic. Fuel economy 17 around 10, 18 on the highway. It's going to be a little bit lower because of all of the kit, like the roof rack. Anyways, 395 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque. If you're looking for more straight-to-the-point reviews like this, make sure you subscribe. Now, pretty much everything you see here is standard with the Trophy Edition, including the raised air intake. You've got the new style of checker plates. I love the Trophy decal right there. And then notice the center's all blacked out on this. And it really is cool to see the green mixed in with the black. We've got the fog lights right there, parking sensors here on the front end. And then you do have underbody protection as well as a recovery point up front. So the whole point of this package is off-roading, and it's got quite a bit so far. 255 by 60 by 20 for the tire and wheel setup. So you do have 20-inch wheels with this package, and you'll note this is nicely painted. You've got the big mud flaps. It's all painted along the side. And if we actually look at the side profile, it's all gloss, which looks really good. You've got the gloss black and the gloss green. And you notice the storage box there on the side too. And if we actually pop around to the other side, you'll note that we've got the ladder and we have the roof rack as well. Land Rover key fob, very premium feeling. You got your lock and unlock. It's the unlock for the swing gate in the back. You can turn on the lights with the key fob too. And let's take a look at the cargo area with this. So love the swing gate design, really easy to open. You got storage there. You note that we also have an outlet with this in the back, a little storage net on either side. You got the windows up top, which add light to the back. And then if that wasn't enough, you'll notice for the air suspension to raise and lower it. And you've got this material all throughout, and you can actually lift this up for a little bit of storage stuff underneath. But anyways, that is durable, easy to clean, and then this is very easy to close. We've got the new smoked out taillight design, and then full-size spare there on the back. There's more recovery points with this package as well. That will cap things off for the exterior of this Trophy. Let's now take a look at the interior. So you've got the blacked out trim inside, which goes really well with the green that's going to be inside because they have that exposed. Love the handle there always. But yeah, the seats, really nice trim, and with the Defenders you can actually pull up the seat there, which is nice. Getting it's easy. The floor is easy to clean too. But yeah, good legroom here in the back. We got some USB ports, and then we've got plenty of headroom with the box design. Big sunroof too. By the way, keyless entry for the front and the back. But anyways, let's take a look up front. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. Just regular glass, by the way. Again, really nice trim all over the panel. We do have our memory seat function here in the door panel. You got your mirror adjustments as well. For those of you wondering on payload capacity with this, 825 pounds. Still got the seat cover on this one, but anyways, perforated all down the center. You got your adjustments and everything on the side. And this has a very tall driving position, but getting in is very easy with that air suspension. You can raise and lower it. And solid. Taking a look at the steering wheel. I love the Defender design. Of course, Defender logo there in the center. You got your practical controls, including your cruise control, heated steering wheel function, regular stocks there on the back. And then we do have the full digital cluster. It is customizable, so you can do a one dial layout if you want. You can change some of the information displayed. And I guess while on the topic of tech, this does have a heads-up display too. 360 camera system, good resolution with the whole setup. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, it is quick to respond, and there's lots of info you can see, including the fact that, yeah, the Trophy has the rear differential lock. All the Land Rovers will have a center diff lock is what you'll see, but only some of the Defenders will have the rear diff lock. Horrible lighting here, but you got the whole shifter set up with all the physical controls, and I love this for the climate. Again, that will do the airspeed, that'll do the drive modes with it, and this has a new trailer. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. It's got a new trailer steering assist function. But yeah, you've got your air suspension adjustment, your low range function, hill descent control built into that area. Lots of nice trim here with like the soft touch storage of the cup holders. This is a cool box. There's a phone charging pad in front of the center console. And again, the trim on that is nice to the touch as well. And then you can see we've got the grab handle there with the Defender logo, rear view mirror, and like I said earlier, big center. 2026 Defender 110 Trophy Edition. You can see there's a few options like the heads-up display and the cool box. $91,750. And that's what makes this package so appealing, in my opinion, is you get all the off-road goodies, and this isn't really more expensive than like an X Dynamic SE version of the Defender, at least what you usually see in dealer lots. Anyways, let's drive it. I have a point of confusion with the Defender here. So, the Defender's towing capacity, 8,200 pounds. Payload capacity is 825 pounds. So you could technically only do the max towing capacity because you have a 10% transfer, you know, with the tongue weight, if you have nobody in the car. Now the reason I'm bringing this up, I think the Defender has more payload than what the sticker says. I think the sticker is just like a kind of standardized thing. Manufacturer, this is something I've discovered, manufacturers do this with payloads on vehicles. They'll just, you know, to kind of save on cost and everything, they'll just be like, yep, they all at least have this amount of payload. I'm wondering if the Defenders actually have more payload than an 825. They've just kind of standardized it to make it simple that way. Because I've also seen people put like quite a bit of weight onto these Defenders, and it doesn't seem like they've got any issue or anything like that, you know what I mean? So, like I said, the value proposition with this is phenomenal. You're getting all of the off-road kit and a special edition and a really cool paint job, and I mean, you're not paying a premium for it. If you actually spec out a regular Defender and put all this stuff on it, you're like the same cost, if not even a little bit more money, I think. So I'm not trying to compare Land Rover to Stellantis, because luxury versus non-luxury, really, for the most part. I mean, Stellantis does have some luxury under them, like, you know, Maserati and stuff. But anyways, this is what, you know, the Mopar thing to do, right, with vehicles, where you offer a special edition, you got cool stuff in the package that, you know, you might be able to get in other vehicles, but it's standard with a special edition, and you give it a cool paint job, and you don't charge a huge premium for it, right? You sell it for the same as if it was, you know, a regular vehicle in the lineup. And I love this when automakers do stuff like this, because it gives you the opportunity to get something that feels, looks special, all of that, and you don't have to pay the same amount of money. And I don't know if you guys can hear the air intake. It's kind of a cool, and the thing that I like about the Defender's air intake versus, like, you know, the new Toyota Trailhunters have a raised air intake. You can't really hear it unless the window's down. With the Toyotas, you can still kind of hear the air intake even with the window up. But with this, it's not there unless you roll the window down. The other vehicle that does that is the Grenadier, where you don't really hear the raised air intake, but then when you roll the window down, then you hear it making the noise, and it's kind of cool. So it's like, if you want to hear the noise, you can, but if you don't, it's not in the way. The standard Defender drives really well. Again, unibody construction, but this isn't like a standard unibody vehicle. This is a 6,000 pound SUV, and it's not pointlessly 6,000 pounds, right? It's, if you actually look underneath, like the stuff underneath in the Defender is beefy. It is a beefy vehicle. And so you are getting what I would call an HD unibody, which is weird to say. I don't think there's any, other than Land Rover, I don't think anyone else really offers an HD unibody, right? There's plenty of HD body and frame vehicles. Like a G-wagon's an HD body and frame vehicle, for example. Grenadier too. But yeah, HD unibody. And so you're not getting, like, I think people, when they look at the Defender, they think that, oh, it's gonna be a weak vehicle. It's like, no. You're getting a, you know, a more overbuilt type vehicle with the Defender. You know, any of the big Range Rovers have that HD setup. I think it's once you go down to Velar where things are kind of more light duty. Yeah, the inline 6 has more than enough power. It's smooth too. I will say though, the Octa has ruined me. Like, and this is the downside of reviewing cars for a living, is I gotta drive everything because I gotta review everything. And it's like, if I didn't review cars, I would just drive the inline 6 Defender. It'd be like, it's such a great power, good fuel economy for the size of vehicle that it is. It sounds nice. It's got this smooth sound to it. It's just a great powertrain. But because I've driven the Octa with the twin turbo V8 and experienced the 6D suspension, I drive this and I'm like, this is really nice. But the Octa, man, it's on a whole nother level. But it's also like twice the price of this, pretty much. Like, yeah, the last Octa that I reviewed was 180 grand. So you could literally buy 2 of these. One for you and one for your wife. For the price of that Octa that I reviewed the other week. Crazy. So a lot of people that are buying like the boxy truck vehicles, you know, the G-Wagons and the Land Cruiser and all that kind of stuff, they'd be much happier in a Defender. The interior is much bigger, the ride quality is better, the handling's better, the engine performance super smooth, and the air suspension's great. And these are very capable off-road. Like, if you're not doing any off-roading, or if you're only going off-road every so often, this is perfect. And I took one of these off-road, and you know, there are some limitations with the construction and everything, right? It doesn't have as much articulation, this and that. But what I will say is the Defender's definitely and this is what I'll close off with. The Defender's just a skill vehicle. Like, a lot of the body and frame off-roaders, you can be Pop-Tart IQ and off-road with them just fine, because everything's just so simple. The Defender, you definitely have to learn how to ride this horse, if that makes sense. You've got to learn everything about it's just it's a complex vehicle, right? It's got a very fancy traction system. It's got air suspension. It has a lot going on that just makes it a little bit more complicated. And so once you learn how to drive one of these off-road, which it took me a while, it is insanely capable. It just has a, you know, higher learning curve. And so it's one of those things where, you know, I own a Land Cruiser, right? This can go anywhere a Land Cruiser can go. And people that talk about reliability, Land Rover has done a lot with the new stuff in terms of the reliability, and especially these 2025 plus Defenders. I've been talking to people. They're great cars. People are just doing regular maintenance on them. They go in, oil change, tire rotation. That's all that it's been. So, you know, it's as long as you stay up with the maintenance on this, it's actually a vehicle that does really well. And when I talk to you know, the dealers and everything, what they're telling me is the Defenders are doing really well overall when it comes to, and I know people are like, of course they're going to say that, but no, when it comes to other Land Rovers, like the Defenders seem to be the best with the reliability. So let me know your thoughts. Today's giveaway is a classic Corvette Stingray and a brand new Corvette Stingray. Use code BHC to get 4x bonus entries into the giveaway.